got a lot of momentum behind us right there. But it was really good to see those guys stay locked in. We came out after halftime and I challenged them. Same way we were down to Campbell and, Campbell let us back in it. We can't do it can't let that happen here. And South Carolina State's a well-coached team, and they are a championship program. So we came out with that third quarter, and we knew we had to go to work.
Finally here, how important is it to, like you always say, keep the main thing, especially with homecoming, and start fast? Because Norfolk, despite the record, is a team that can score a lot of points. They
can. And if you look at the games they played, they've been in all the games, I think, except for Temple. All the games were a one-possession game. So, we have to – our level of focus this week has to be like none other. Homecoming is for the alumni and the students and all that. We'll enjoy the game. We'll enjoy all the events Saturday night. But this is definitely a dangerous team, and we cannot come out here starting off to a slow start and looking sluggish.
Thank you, Coach. See you out there Saturday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next question is from JB Ricks. Go ahead, JB.
Coach Oliver, always a pleasure to see you. Appreciate you taking out the time. I wanted to ask you, this performance that you guys had against South Carolina State, was it 1 week late? Was it 1 week past what you were predicting the week before against Morgan State when you were predicting the best performance of the year? Did it come 1 week late?
I believe so. And this is what I was expecting against Morgan State, this team right here to show up. I do know that, Morgan State did have 2.5 weeks to prepare for us. And they threw some wrinkles at us that we had to adjust to. But this is the type of ball I expect us to play. I know the young men that are in our program, the coaching staff that we have here, they do a great job of game planning. And, I expect us to play at a very high level, regardless of who we're playing. And it was good to see us play better this week in all three phases.
And my next question for you is, how good is it? I know you don't want to look ahead past Norfolk State, and you just gave a great soundbite regarding the competition they'll provide for you this Saturday. But how good is it to have a performance like you did this past Thursday, going into the month of November with it being the final stretch of the season, and you guys looking like you're playing at the top of your game right now?
That's what it's about. It's about improving every week, from week 1 to week 2, and from week 2 to week 10, whatever the case may be. And I think that the really good teams that you see, that's what they're able to do. And, guys have to understand, we don't just go through the motions of practice. We're not just trying to survive practice. You can still get better. You can still improve on your technique and fundamentals. You can improve on your eye discipline, on your run fits, on your hand placement. All this stuff, you can still improve throughout the season. So that's the big thing I'm trying to make sure our guys understand and that our coaches are conveying to them.
Was there anything different from the practice going into the South Carolina State game compared to the Morgan State practice, where you said they had their best practice, of the entire season? Was there anything different that you guys did last week that you can use and apply for the remainder of the season?
It was a level of consistency there. I thought the guys were really locked in, going into the Morgan game. And last week it was pretty much the same thing. These guys understand what's at stake here. They understand that we have a good football team, but if you slip up 1 week, it's over. So I believe that we're locked in. I believe that we're focused, and our leaders have done a really good job of leading this team.
I appreciate you, Coach. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. Chris didn't invite you to the house?
Heck no. I'm about to shoot him a text as soon as we get off this call. Me and him about to have a nice little conversation because I need some of that barbecue player.
Before our next question, I will just add to the note that the last time the Eagles scored first was earlier this season against Mississippi Valley State in the Circle City Classic. Our next question is from Alexis from the Campus Echo. Go ahead, Alexis.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you today?
I'm well, Alexis. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm glad that you brought up the fact that all three phases of the ball were playing really well together on Thursday night. So how was it for you to see offense, defense, and special teams just work together and just dominate the entire game?
That's a great question. I like how you worded it. We dominated. I like that. Well, we preach that all three phases are just as important. We spend just as much time in special teams as we do on offense and defense. And, we have some guys that are playing on these special teams that don't get a whole lot of, playing time with O&D. So we talk about guys, role players playing your role. Whether you're playing 12 snaps a game or you're playing 60 snaps a game, we need you to play at a high level. And it's really good when you see role players stepping up and making big plays. And I thought that we had a lot of guys that were throwing blocks for Brandon Codrington. Now, B. Codd will get all the credit for these returns, but it was a lot of guys that were throwing blocks and helped springing him on some of those returns. So, it was a team effort across the board, and it was really good to see that.
It was. And with this win, how confident are you in this team, like regarding the rest of the season and how far they can go?
Well, you're going to only worry about Norfolk State this weekend, but I'm very confident in this team. I was very confident in August when we came in here, and I knew that we had a special group of young men. It's about, again, I use this word all the time, staying focused. You can't get complacent, and you got to work to get better. But I'm very confident in our staff as well as these players, and I expect us to play at a high level this Saturday.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Caleb Veal. Go ahead, Caleb.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win on Thursday. You guys play this Saturday, and just looking at South Carolina State, they've scored the second most touchdowns in this conference. Just what about them makes them dangerous to you?
Norfolk State?
Yes, Norfolk State.
Okay. I think schematically, their offensive coordinator does a great job. It seems like every week they have a really somewhat of a new game plan. A lot of their passing concepts are different week to week. So a lot of times, people run the same concepts and you can kind of match routes and things of that nature. But, every week it's like they have a whole new offense. Their running back room, they have a stable of running backs that are very good. Last week they played first name Muhammad. I can't pronounce his last name. Number 44. Very physical running back, big guy, downhill. And they have about 3 or 4 running backs that can really, really make you pay if you're not gap sound. And then their quarterback, he's very athletic. He has a strong arm and he can beat you scrambling with his legs. So we're going to do a great job, this week with our run fits and getting guys to the ball.
Coach, you're familiar with the coach on the other sideline this weekend, former teammate Dawson Odoms. Can you talk about the relationship that you two have?
Definitely. We did play together back in 94, 95 here. Great guy. He was a great teammate, great person. And, we had a long-lasting relationship. And he's definitely the reason why I had the opportunity to get the head job here and I'm where I am now. He gave me the opportunity to be his defensive coordinator down at Southern University from 2016 to 2019. And I think that right there obviously opened some doors for me and gave me an opportunity to set me up for this job right here. So I'm forever grateful for Coach Odoms and what he's done for me professionally and also personally. Great friend of mine. Our families are close. His 2 daughters, beautiful young ladies, and his wife went to school here with me as well. So it's going to be a family affair this weekend.
And you talked about Norfolk State's offense. So what do they do defensively that you've been impressed with? Yes,
defensively. The defensive coordinator, he was my defensive back coach down at Southern, Steve Adams. So we have a great relationship and kind of have a good feel of what each other likes to do. They're active up front. They are physical. They have 2 very physical linebackers, and they do a great job in the back end as far as with our defensive back play, as far as plastering or matching routes. Their defensive backs play very aggressive. So we're gonna have to win on the perimeter. They like to play a lot of bump and run, man-to-man coverage on the perimeter. So our receivers are gonna have to do a great job of trying to get open and getting some separation. But it's gonna be a great game this weekend, and it's a lot of familiarity between both teams.
And coming up next, we have defensive lineman Jaden Taylor from Durham, North Carolina. Can you talk about Jaden and what he's meant to the program here at NCCU?
Yes, Drayden came in and day he stepped on campus has been a blessing to have on the team. Very physical defensive tackle, very active, plays with violent hands, the way you're supposed to play the game. And aside from all that stuff, another, and I say it every week, but another one of those great student athletes we have in the program. He's truly a culture guy, always walking around with a smile on his face, laughing and joking, picking on me about whatever I might be wearing that day or whatever the case may be. But great young man, another guy from the Bull City here in Durham, and country boy, loves to ride horses, ATVs, and go mudding and all this other stuff. So, you know, he's a man's man, I guess you could say. But he's a pleasure to have on the team, and a better person than football player.
Must be some strong horses too.
You said that one, Kyle, not me.
All right, Coach. So that's all we have for you.